tailgate of this ship had a watermelon, and they plugged it, cut a plug out of it, and poured in some sort of alcoholic drink. I forget what it was. Anyway, they put it back in, and they were enjoying this on the tailgate when the captain of the ship came by and said, "Hello, gentlemen, what are you eating there?" And he said, "May I have a piece of that?" So we gave him a piece of the watermelon with the whiskey in it. And he said, "Thank you very much, that was delicious." And he walked away. We never heard from him after that. Resort in Northern California, and I was down at the bottom of the hill, and there was this girl that came barreling down the hill, totally out of control. She ran into a snowbank, and nothing was sticking out of the snowbank except the tips of her skis. And I dug her out and married her. To know the Lord. We were living in Forest Falls, California. We went to a little church there called Valley of the Falls Community Church. The pastor was Joe Sylvie. We were used to going to church on Sunday. We'd grown up with that. Joe Sylvie presented the plain gospel, and he wanted anyone who didn't know the Lord to confess the Lord, which I did. And I came to know the Lord through the efforts and the pastor of Joe Sylvie. if you give somebody a tract, they'll look at it and turn it over. Who printed this? Are you a Jehovah's Witness? You know, that's what they ask. But if you give them the little Bible, they never ask those questions. That's the reason I like to give out that. And they'll almost never turn it down when you give them a little Bible. And I do have them, like I say, in 5 languages.
So what is it that you enjoy most about the cabin?
Yeah, the cool summers is the best.
And maybe Grandma making her raspberry pies after we picked all day.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. We do pick raspberries up there on the trails.
She says, wake up, it's no use pretending. I'll keep stealing, breathing her. Birds are leaving over autumn's ending. One of us will die inside these arms. Eyes wide open. Spread our ashes round the yard. She says, if I leave before you, darling, don't you waste me in the ground. I lay smiling like our sleeping children. One of us will die inside these arms. Eyes wide open, naked as we came. One will spread ashes round the yard.
What advice would you give me about being married?
Have kids.
Why?
That adds depth and purpose to your life.
How did you find that in your life?
To lead children to know the Lord and to love the Lord and to serve Him and to have friends and just to live life pleasing to the Lord. In articulating your superficial sentimentalities or amicable philosophical or psychological observations, beware of platitudinous ponderosity. Let your unpremeditated descantings and declamatory dialogue contain coherency, but not bombastic verbosity. In other words, say what you mean what you say, and don't use big words.
Perfect.